Hello YouTube. Today we are going to look at one particular component that is commonly shipped with laptops in the late 80s, early 90s. All manufacturers, including Compaq, like you see here, IBM, Apple, Toshiba. Everybody used these particular parts in the late 80s, early 90s. And what I'm talking about in particular are the Contura hard drives. Like, I don't know how good you are, but if you know the underside of a Contura, I'll show you another one for reference. And there's your Contura hard drive. And unfortunately, these particular Contura hard drives, are just about all the laptop ones, suffered from a fatal flaw. They had a rubber bumper that had a tendency to melt. And there's various repairs, mostly on the Apple side, that just say PowerBook repair and so on. But I'd like to focus, and I'd like to show you this repair as well, that instead of calling it for a particular computer, it should be pretty much the same across the board. Now, let's find out, before I tear something apart that I don't need to do, let's find out what this drive does. As you can tell, this particular one spins up, then spins down, then spins up. Eventually we'll get, yep, there we go. We got the disk controller failure. I'm not sure at this point if it's even going to detect the hard drive, but we'll see what the computer does. A lot of them also just like to click over and over again. Yeah, this one just keeps spinning up and down. I think that's enough. So we are going to try and fix this, although I can't promise anything. If this is like the others, random screw in there, then we should be able just to tape off that rubber bumper. So we're going to give that a go. These ribbon cables are very fragile. There is a, you might be able to lift on it very gently, but like this one I was able to, but underneath there are some tabs you can pry up on and let a small bladed screwdriver do the work. Let me take the drive out. Next thing you want to do is you don't want this ribbon cable getting in the way, because break it, good luck finding another one. And real small bladed screwdriver should be able to get in between. As you can see, you start seeing some pins exposed. And just keep working down the middle. And might have to, there we go. That's starting to get looser. Let's keep doing that till this piece comes off. Since we don't need the computer, I'll try and put that to the side. And now you've got your hard drive exposed. There we go. That's a little bit better. So you'll actually need two different Torx screws to attempt this repair. You'll need to start with a T8 Torx. In this case, of this particular hard drive, there are 5 screws holding it together. So we'll take those off one by one. Now, assuming this repair does go successfully, I'm not sure how long it will last. Don't expect your data to be there, but if this gets you a couple more years of cheating death, great. There are also other people out there, they will actually, each time they want to use the computer, they'll actually take the case off the hard drive and pry the head loose every time. That does technically work. but it's a pain depending on the computer. And on the LTE lights, you have to pop a cover off. I don't know what happened to my cover for this, but there is a cover you have to pop off, and it's not the easiest in the world to do. So now that you got those 5 screws off, word of caution, there is a rubber gasket in between. So when you start prying this off, be very careful not to distort that, or otherwise you're gonna let some bunny friends in, which is enemy number 1 for a precision instrument like a hard drive. You may have to slowly take a bladed screwdriver to get things started. I tell this one did not want to come off easy. And try to do it a little less crudely than that, but it is exposed. And I don't know how good this drive's going to be, but the first solution that people like to do, they just, this one's pretty loose, so I don't know how well the repair is going to go, but we'll try it anyway. The next step you want to do, if we get the hard drive in the photo, this is where your T6 Torx bit will come into play. There are 2 screws total. Next thing you want to do is get that magnet off very carefully. And there you have it. The piece you actually will want to repair is right here. But first, before you do that, move the head out of the way. And if I could get it to focus in the camera, if you see this little white piece right there, that's your culprit. That's what you want to tape off. Now, some people call it blue tape, some of them call it paper tape, some of them call it masking tape. So what you want to do is just cut a real small piece of tape, which I'm going to do here shortly. May have to cut a couple times. I don't even have this one too big. Yeah. Oh, look. Get in the camera to help. I'd probably do this one off of camera, but you can see what I'm doing. Cut any excess tape off, and that should be, in theory, it. So now we want to put this back in, line it up with the holes. Yeah, let's see what we can do here. I may have it even backwards, I'm not entirely sure right now. That should be right. And now it'll hit that part, but the magnet will still do its thing. The park operation will continue, but it won't get stuck on that. Won't get stuck on anything anymore. Now, in fact, I'm going to try and, because I don't think it's parking all the way. I'll try to put it on the other way once and see if it fits any better. I don't think it's going to. You may have to force the head in slightly into that tape. Some people remove the rubber. some don't. Alright, let's give that a try. Okay. Now, if you're a fool like me, you may have misplaced your 2 small T6 screws, which is exactly what I did. Right, that's something special. This might be one of them. Oh, found him. And typically you want to pay attention to where each screw comes out of. One was longer than the other, but I don't think it's going to matter for this particular drive. I think it is too far gone. I'm going to put a couple of these screws back in just for testing purposes. Darn thing to line up. There we go. And I'm just going to put the one in for now. If by a miracle we actually do get a positive result out of this, then I will go the rest of the direction with it. But I don't think I am, so we're going to just get right to it. And let's turn it on. Well, the air is different. Let's see what it says. Okay. Might have fixed this one. So we'll save the changes and see what it says. And it does have an OS on it. Well, disclaimer, I don't know if this drive has other underlying problems like bad sectors or other random stuff that old hard drives do, but like I said, we'll take a chance on it and see what we get. The second disclaimer behind this is I have no idea what's on this hard drive, so if this video suddenly cuts out, we know it is inappropriate for the public. And this laptop has Windows for Workgroups on it, 3.1. Chances are it's probably in a docking station, considering it was asking for a network card. As far as I know, they don't make built-in network cards for these particular computers. Alright, my working functionality is not available, yada yada yada. And here we go. Oh, okay, this is... I'm not sure... Nope, what's this? It's trying to go to something called Schedule Plus. It'll work offline. I don't know who Matt is, but... I hope it just lets me cancel out of it. There's some cool stuff on here. This Harvard Graphics 2.0, never heard of that. I'm not sure if this is like this auto map on the right. I'm not sure if that is. I am sure how you browse to it in Windows 3.1. Nope. Got a LaserJet 4. Well, if you're like me, you probably need a mouse to navigate much of Windows 3.1, but this thing's got some cool programs on it. It's impressive considering this is only an 80 meg drive, but it's fun to see what other people, or not other people, but what these old computers served in their past, in their prime. So, that being said, that pretty much ends the video here. Once I end this video, I will put the other 4 screws back in, and we have a happy hard drive. Just for those that are curious, I actually, for the tape I use, it's Scotch Blue. It says Sharp Lines Multi-Surface. I'm sure masking tape or something similar else would suffice. And just another disclaimer, if I haven't said it already, I express no warranty, and I don't guarantee results on your particular hard drive. And this doesn't necessarily apply to Seagates or Quantums or Western Digitals or anything else. Your issues may be different. You may have bad sectors. You may have a laundry list of issues that can exist from drive to drive. And another disclaimer too is no Contra hard drive, or at least the vast majority of them, will not recognize any USB enclosure, so it ain't gonna happen. But if you come across a situation where you want to do data recovery off of a Contra hard drive, and you just don't want a chance to tape, or you don't want to tap the drive every time to get it going, or sit in the sun, there are companies that manufacture a component that allows you to plug your 2.5-inch drive into a 3.5-inch IDE to Molex connector. And those are pretty cheap on eBay. That's what I had to do for one of the other hard drives I had for one of these LTE Lites or Elites, or really any of the LTE line. You'll probably have to do that. But I think I rambled enough, so if you have any questions, concerns, or constructive comments, feel free to leave them in the comments section. And thank you for watching yet another vintage computer repair video.